Hey, it's Nate, and today I'm doing Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. It's a beautiful and touching song, and the chord progressions are pretty simple. The recording is based around an electric guitar arpeggio, but it translates really well to piano. Let's jump in. Alright, so first off, I recommend you get the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description, and that's going to help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. We'll start out with the intro. Here's the chords for that. I'll mostly be playing and teaching you the arpeggio, but to do that, you need to know the underlying chords. That also gives you an easier option for playing it if doing the arpeggios while singing is too tricky. So let's start out there. For the D, we're going to voice it like this. Left hand, first finger on this D here, and then in the right hand, A, D, and F sharp. This is middle C here, so you get the octave. And then we also need a G. You can use your fifth finger there on the lower G, and then B, D, and G. Now I should point out this song is in 6/8 time, so each of these measures gets 6 counts. So the pacing here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you choose to do a version where you're just blocking out the chords, you could play in the right hand on every count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And you could do that throughout the song, and I think that sounds really good. But let's look at that arpeggio. Here's how it's going to sound. So we're playing the notes on every single count, so 6 notes per measure. For that D chord, really simple, we're just going from bottom to top and back down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can just hold the left hand bass note as you climb up and down the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, for this G, to do the arpeggio that the guitar does, it's a little bit trickier. We're going to actually do 2 notes in the left hand. We're going to do the fifths, the outside note of a typical G major triad. So it's going to be G, D, and then I know I showed you this chord shape, but we're actually going to reach all the way down to this G, and then we're going to leap all the way up an octave higher. And then you can just climb down on the notes of the chord as I showed you. Two little notes about that. One is if that octave stretch is too big for you, you could just do it like that, using the 3 notes of the chord I initially showed you. It's not quite as accurate, but it still sounds good. Final thing I want to point out here is the guitar arpeggio on the recording actually skips the B and just goes straight back to the G. But there's a keyboard that is filling in the B. We kind of like to hear that to get that major chord sound, so that's why I'm changing it to include that note. Okay, one more time on that intro. Then it just loops around a second time. Notice how your left hand can stay in the exact same spot to get to this G arpeggio. And then the verse starts. When your day is long. Okay, so here are the chords for the verses. You already know how to do it. Well, except for the last measure. So we do 3 times through that D to G pattern. And then on the very last measure, it's going to sound like this. So when we get to that, you start the G arpeggio like you would have. 1, 2, 3, and then for the second half, we're gonna just hit an F sharp here and then do 4, 5, 6. So F sharp, D, G, and that flows really nice to the E minor that's gonna start the chorus. If you're just doing the blocked chord version, you could totally just step down that F sharp in the left hand while continuing to pulse on that G inversion on your way down to the E minor. But let me just sing through that verse real quick. I'll sing it down an octave. It's a little easier for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When your day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough, of this life. Hang on. Okay, so now we are in the chorus. Here are the chords for that. Only two chords we need. We have E minor, so E bass note down here, and then G, B, and E, and then A major. So I could come up here to the second finger and do A, C sharp, and E. And of course, if you're doing the blocked chord version, you could do Don't let yourself go. Just like that. But the arpeggio here is pretty easy. We're gonna do fifths in the left hand, just like we did on the G, but we're just gonna stick with the 3 notes in each chord. Makes it a little simpler. So E, B, so just climbing up like that. 1, 2, 3, and then we do leap, skipping the B, and then we hit it on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again. The right hand can stay in the same place, but the left hand is gonna move up if we're gonna do those fifths. A, E, A, skip the C sharp and go back down. So this time between the two chords, it's the exact same pattern. It's really easy to get in a groove with it. 'Cause everybody cries. And then one last time. And everybody hurts. Sometimes. Then it would go back to the verse. So on the last repeat, the third repeat and the last measure of A, you can just hit the chord and then just let it be silent for the rest of that measure. One last very optional detail that you do hear the bass on the recording do is on the way from the A back down to the E minor, there's this little step down that G, F sharp, E, just on 5, 6, 1. So that would be Don't let yourself go. So you would hit the fingers together on each of those counts in both the left and the right. So I'm gonna throw that in, probably not every time, but it's an option. Okay, here's the chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't let yourself go. 'Cause everybody cries. And everybody hurts sometimes. So that's going into the next verse. So the second verse is just like the first verse. The only difference is you go around on the progression 2 extra times. It's just a bit longer. Then we go into a second chorus, which is just like the first chorus. And then we have the bridge. Here's the chords for that. And here we are just going to be blocking out the chords. The energy is a little different, a little bit more kind of rockin' in this section. I'm going to be doing octaves in the left hand. If you can't make the stretch, you could just do the lower note. But we're going to start out with this F sharp major, and I'm just going to be pulsing those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. Don't throw your hands. So 2 measures of B minor. We can keep our first finger in the right hand on that F sharp. And then of course we're gonna come up to the B bass notes, and then just the top 2 fingers can move up to the B and the D. Don't throw your hand. Just goes around that for 3 times. No. I might add a little bit more rhythm by hitting on beat 6 as well as beat 1, so you get those little double hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Just makes it groove a little more. And in fact, if you've been doing just the chord-based version for everything else, that's a good rhythm to throw in the other sections. So once you complete those 3 times through that progression, we're gonna come up to C. When you feel like you're alone. So coming up to the C bass notes, and this is just an inversion on C, G, C, and E. And And that makes it really convenient to come down to this just root position G, where just the top two notes step down to B and D. Then back up to C. No, 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 you're not alone. So we've got a measure here that's split between C, 2, 3, C over B, 4, 5, 6. So just keep the right hand how it is, step down to the B bass note on the way to A minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's just A, C, and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And we're gonna just hit it for the last measure and just let it be silent for the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before we would go into the third verse. One nice little optional detail you could throw in here is what the string section plays on those G's in the middle line. We've got the when you feel like you're alone. It's this little da 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 melody, so just hitting E, D, B, E, D, B, E, D, B, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we don't lose the full power of the chord, I'm gonna hit the root every time with my thumb. So, and it starts on beat 4, the first measure of G there. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'll probably be throwing that in. Okay, here's that whole bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't throw your hand. Oh, no. Don't throw your hand. When you feel like you're alone. No, 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 you're not alone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're on your own. Okay, so that's the final verse. Nothing to talk about there. It's structured exactly like the first verse. The lyrics are just a little bit different. Then we've got the final chorus. Looks like that. It's just like the other choruses, but notice the little measure that says NC or no chord. There's an extra full measure of silence after you've already stopped at the beginning of the A measure. So the last time through that main progression, everybody hurts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes. Then we're in the outro. Here's the chords for that. It is just that main progression that we've been doing for the intro and the verses, but it just repeats over and over again. Sometimes. Everybody hurts. Sometimes. So hold on. The drums really pick up here. You could just keep doing the arpeggio just like we've been doing it for the rest of the song. But I'm gonna start adding octaves here, and instead of doing the arpeggio exactly how we've been doing it, I'm gonna do that rhythm we were doing, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Just brings the energy up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we don't have that extra fifth note to do the arpeggio if we're doing this octave approach. So if you do this, I'm gonna switch the right hand up slightly and just hit the G where we would have hit the D before, and add that B there as the extra note. And then leap up. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So you can just follow along with the lyrics and everything on your chart. When it gets to the everybody hurts part, they do imply a D7 there with the C in, so I might start adding that in, and I might just really go for it here, like. You can just do a combination of actually hitting the full chord and then some arpeggio notes. I'm gonna play it really loose and just kind of rock out here. You don't have to play exactly what I do, but just encourage you to kind of let yourself go a little bit and just add some more energy to that. And the recording fades out, which is hard to do. So once all the lyrics have run their course and you're just kind of rocking out, I'm just gonna kind of maybe do a little slow down and then end on the D. Maybe kind of quietly, maybe even just a single bass note. So it just feels like, okay, the song is over. All right, thank you for sticking with me. I am now gonna do a full play and sing through so you can see how everything we talked about fits together in the full cover. If you enjoy this video, give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click the bell so you know when I put out more videos just like this one. All right, here is my version of Everybody Hurts. When your day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, hang on. Don't let yourself go, 'cause everybody cries and everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along when the day is night alone. Hold on if you feel like letting go. Hold on if you think you've had too much of this life. Well, hang on, 'cause everybody hurts. Take comfort in your friends. Everybody hurts.